All right, so we got winners quarters here. This is a fun one. I think it was pretty obvious this one was going to be streamed. We got Joey from the club channel up against Walrus. Yeah, this should be a fun one. Walrus is just like a very solid player all around. He very rarely makes mistakes. He just plays very solid baseball. Joey, I have heard, can be a little bit inconsistent. He can either play like the best player on earth or just kind of, you know, flub it out a little bit. So I've heard. So it should be fun. It might be an incredibly tight game. It might be a wash. We have no idea. But I think everyone's been looking forward to this game. You know, Joey being one of the club players playing against Walrus, one of the best net players. You know, it's definitely exciting game. You're gonna finally see, you know, how the club stacks up against the net players. So this one should be fun.
So let's just introduce ourselves. I'm Hong-Zhi, and my lovely co-commentator is LittleCoaks.
That is me.
So something that a lot of people don't realize about the people who play for the Mario Baseball YouTube channel is that they play a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think Dennis was telling me something like not even half their games that they just play for fun are recorded.
Yeah.
So even like the low echelon club players are probably pretty good just because they have so much gameplay experience.
Exactly.
And they play so many games.
Right, yeah, they have so much experience. I think, you know, the net player gang probably a little bit more oriented on like I want to say like the stats and like game knowledge, you know, like that type of thing. It seems like everyone's very interested in like those in-game stats and like the specifics and all that, whereas the club players just have a ton of experience. It's a very interesting little dichotomy here. Yeah, 30% of the games are on camera, which is, you know, just crazy. So I got some stats here, just to get an idea of who we're playing, like who these players are. So Walrus in our Netplay league, he has an ELO of 1101. The highest ELO player is Thanners with 1116. So he's really not far behind. Walrus he has a record of 9-2. So he only has 2 losses, and both those losses are to Thanners, the #1 player right now. So Walrus is a hot contender for that number 2 spot right now. He's a very strong player. He has the 2 seed in this tournament. Joey, we don't have much. At least I don't have much on him. What was he in his time? I believe he was 3-1. He only lost 1 game in pools to Peacock Slayer, and Peacock Slayer is also just another incredibly good player. Yeah, so I'm excited for this one, I gotta say.
I gotta also just throw something in. I really respect what's his name? I'm forgetting who's
Walrus
playing.
or Joey?
Evil Walrus here.
Yeah.
Because Evil Walrus is intentionally delaying taking that Pianta, because if it was me, that Pianta would be like top 3 picks.
Right.
But he knows that, okay, Joey has Birdo, Joey has DK, Joey can't really cut my infield very much.
Exactly.
I'm just going to take Pianta last.
Exactly,
and
yeah. Why rush it there, you know?
Yeah. I think that's a very strong strategy that a lot of people really don't implement when they play. You know, a lot of people, they'll, like, for instance, I always talk about how Toadette's, like, top 7 great character, but no one's taking her like she's a top 7 character, so why should I? I should just take her later and get better value out of my pick.
Right, this is, you know, this is one of those, like, draft theory, draft strategy types of things. You'll notice, too, Walrus very rarely picks a pitcher early. Walrus is usually, he'll usually take his pitcher, like, one of his last 2 picks, 8th or 9th. I guess if he doesn't get Boo early on, he just waits it out.
Walrus, what are you doing? Just throw Toadsworth on the mound.
Yeah. You know, there is one game where he played Thanners, and Thanners had picked Boo, Diddy, and Dixie Kong, you know, kind of agreed to be a top 3 pitchers in the game. And Walrus just waits for the 9th pick and ended up pitching Green Dry Bones. Walrus doesn't really seem to value drafting a pitcher early as much. We can see Diddy Kong went 8th here for Walrus. You know, a much later pick because Joey had already picked Boo early on, so Joey's probably not going to pick Diddy or Dixie Kong, so why rush that pick?
And, like, even if, like you were saying earlier, where Walrus pitched Dry Bones. Even if that Diddy Dixie Kong goes, who cares? Like, he shut out Thanners through almost the entire game with Dry Bones pitching. So...
Right, exactly. You know, even if the pitchers do start getting picked, right, you know, Boo, Diddy, and Dixie Kong, you know, there's still so many viable pitchers left on the board. You still have characters like Daisy, Waluigi, Goomba, Toadsworth, even Green Dry Bones if you really want to. Similar pitching stats to Toadsworth. So, you know, if the opponent does get Boo, you know, it really... A lot of times, it doesn't really make sense to try to draft another pitcher too quickly. You might as well try to get better players while you can, and worry about the pitcher later. That's what Walrus did here.
General game knowledge thing here. Walrus is at 3 team stars. I think the only way this specific team comp is with Bowser Jr.
Yeah, Bowser Jr. or maybe Dry Bones could do it, but probably just Bowser Jr.
Oh yeah, Dry Bones too.
Yeah. Bowser Jr. will be a solid pick here, specifically because he has Bowser and Hammer Bro. So Bowser Jr. is the only character in the game with both Bowser and Hammer Bro chemistry. So one strategy I like to do...
I'm looking at this team, I'm thinking maybe you play Blue Dry Bones.
Blue Dry Bones would... Yeah, Blue Dry Bones could work here. Either one of those colors. Blue Dry Bones specifically, I guess, for the infield, and maybe put Yoshi in left. Or,
because like Yoshi shortstop's not the best. I don't know why Walrus...
No, I'm not the biggest fan either. I also think, okay, there's the Dry Bones pick.
Yeah, and we
that's like a trademark. That's pretty much a trademark Walrus pick there, Dry Bones. Did he change the color? I did not see actually.
Yeah, green.
Okay, green. Yeah, so we'll see here. I mean, I think Yoshi on this team should definitely be in the outfield. Another possible pick there for Walrus would have been Pianta, just because, you know, you could move. You know, you probably wouldn't get that 4th team star, but you'd have a very solid infielder.
You mentioned how you think Yoshi should be in outfield. I actually don't think that, specifically
for this
because
team?
Walrus, because Walrus picked Green Dry Bones instead of Blue. I'm of the mindset that Green Dry Bones' arm is not really that great.
Yeah.
And Yoshi's burst movement, that tongue, it's going to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah,
and honestly, between throwing arms at shortstop and burst movement, you obviously want both. But throwing arms, we've seen time and time again, very, very important at shortstop.
Exactly.
It's part of the reason why Pianta, who in many ways is worse than Birdo, is often regarded as a better shortstop than Birdo. Because Pianta has that laser, Pianta's throwing arm's a lot stronger. It's just no comparison game here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's also one of the only reasons that Shy Guy can be a pretty good pick on some team comps, just for that Birdo chemistry to first base. Again, increasing that throwing arm, contributing to a lot of outs.
Well, I usually play Shy Guy at second, but that's beside the point. We're on to the game here.
Yeah, that does work. Game is starting. We got
Dixie Kong
that would
on
be
the mound.
Dixie Kong on the mound for Walrus, pitching, and then Joey at bat with Paratroopa. Burning a star there with Paratroopa.
I do not like the Paratroopa and DeBerto lineup. I'm just gonna say.
I don't know if it makes too much sense here. I usually like to bat a very fast character in front of Birdo.
Much of anything. It's just.
I see the logic here. Birdo batting before Pianta for PD. Birdo batting before PD for that chemistry boost. I see that logic. I don't know about Paratroopa before Birdo. I usually like to put a fast character before Birdo because it's a better RBI chance.
Yeah,
you know, someone like Yoshi or Toadette is a great choice.
Of course, Joey hates Toadette. So he's never gonna use it.
Toadette's definitely a newer, more new meta.
Oh my god!
That's gonna be out. I don't think Mario can all jump out. Wow! And there's PD Piranha with a nice dinger. I mean, very PD Piranha's a lot weaker, noticeably weaker on Netplay. So seeing PD just lead off with a home run is definitely refreshing to see.
I think it was actually an issue with Toadette gets that, by the way. For the record, sorry viewing audience, that's kind of a meme where when I watch Netplay, I say Toadette gets that when someone misses a ball that Toadette would have gotten. So I'm sorry if that annoys you.
Rounder here, that's gonna wrap up the ending right there.
Yeah.
Only 2 hits, but one of them really matters.
One of them was a TV dinger. I think the pitching was actually off there. I think those charge pitches make things a lot easier for PD, just because he has less. You have to think less about where the ball is going to go.
Exactly. the biggest weakness of Petey is that he has such a small sweet spot to actually hit home runs with. And on top of that, you still have to pull the ball in order for it to be a home run because Petey is a pull hitter. So, you know, those two factors combined, it can be very inconsistent to try to hit a home run with Petey. And that's one of the reasons, that's one of his biggest drawbacks.
We saw some very good plate discipline out of Walrus there, but in the end, it was just a ground out dribbler to Paratroopa.
Yeah. Little fielder's glitch there. It's going to drop.
Fielder's glitch, but here's the thing.
A double.
If Toadette was there, she still would have made it. So...
Perhaps she would have. And here's that Hammer Bro gonna get walked there. And this is why Hammer Bro Bowser is such a deadly team combo. Because even if you do pitch to Bowser and he gets, you know...
upcoming lineup here. We got King Boo, who could easily turn this into a 3-1 game. And then we have Magikoopa, who could Star Swing and theoretically drive in Bowser. This is scary.
It's very tough here. I honestly would consider slap hitting there, just to try to get a consistent runner into a Star Swinger. You know, at least an option. No, of course the home run is very tempting as well. Yeah, you know, even if you do like pitch to Bowser, if he gets on base, or if you walk Bowser and he gets on base, then Hammer Bros up with the chemistry boost.
Wow. And just like that, Joey is out clean. Unfortunate Star Swing foul ball there, but happened, you know?
Yeah, that was a very tough inning right there. I mean, great to get out of that, you know. Definitely the most stacked part of the lineup. And Warriors have to beat that out a little bit too slow. You know who would have gotten to first base.
Big weakness of him, his arm is very bad.
Yes, it is very poor.
It's the same strength as Toadette, actually.
Yeah, it's one of the weakest in the game. So for context for our viewers, the throwing arm stats are from 0 to 100. The strongest throwing arm in the game is Petey with 100. The weakest is Baby Mario and Baby Luigi with 30. And then Yoshi only has 40. So... Yoshi's, you know, next to the worst throwing arm in the game. Not quite there, but also, you know, a little bit too low.
I do not agree with Pianta slap hitting ever, by the way. Don't slap hit with Pianta. That's a waste.
Yeah, I do. I mean, if you pull the ball with Pianta, it's going to hit the wall. Maybe not go over, but you will... It goes far. Great Toadworth angle right there.
I don't think this is ever going to come up. But... Walrus is actually playing Toadsworth catcher in this game. And I think that's a really interesting meta strategy because Joey and the club players in general...
Oh, is that going to be a catch? Birdo's going to get that. Wow.
That was incredible. Fireball into suction.
Yeah,
you know,
Mario Fireball...
In the game, but sometimes
is that a double play? The
chemistry
throw.
Wow.
Chemistry throw making that double play. I don't think that's a double play with no chemistry.
Oh, it probably isn't.
Yeah.
Chemistry gives a huge boost to your throwing arm.
Yeah, chemistry is definitely in this game is most important in the infield for batting, really for batting specifically for home run hitters. And then
not relevant. I guess with your captain for team stars.
Yeah, and then maybe those outfield throws to the infield. It's always nice to have, but it doesn't really come up too much.
It does not come up too much. You are right when you say that.
You know, it's kind of like, it's almost like ball dash. Like, ball dash doesn't really happen too much, but when it does, it's nice. Yeah, that Mario Fireball.
Dash hype train. That's not really relevant to this game.
Birdo not going to be able to get out of there. Yeah, you don't really want to use Birdo's Star Swing there. Even though she's your captain, it only costs 1. You know, it's 2 outs, and no one's on base. So what do you really...
You know what I hate? People who do this. Make Dixie Kong righty. Do not do this. PSA to everyone watching, do not make your Dixie Kong righty. It's a terrible, terrible idea. For those of you who don't know, characters who bat lefty get a bit of a jump when they're running towards first base. This is true in real baseball too. And the difference in base running is significant. So when you hit those dribblers, sometimes with these high-speed characters, the difference between righty and lefty is like the difference between getting on base and not getting on base.
It could cost you. I had a game in this pool, like one of my pool's games. I had at least 3 or 4 where I barely made it, and being lefty 100% mattered. I think it's something where the match should shift to in the future. You know, like some. Oh no!
That is unfortunate.
No, I don't know why that was a swing.
Yeah, it's weird. I think what he did was he inputted on the last frame of the previous pitch.
And
so
that was so weird.
Slap hitting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some characters being righty and lefty at this point is probably like a comfort thing. That little, the little thing we found out about lefties is only kind of recent, so I understand players aren't gonna switch to it just yet. I do think that's where the meta will shift to in the future, though.
I think there's a couple characters who can make righty work, but Dixie is definitely not one of them. She's also a push hitter, and generally you want to hit your balls to left field because it's further away from first base. So when Dixie Kong's pushing to the second baseman, that's a shorter throw.
Right, exactly. Now let's see here. Oh, and that's gonna land, and that's gonna drive. Oh, that's gonna be a double.
That is a fantastic.
And this is why Boo is such a good character. Not only is he the best, arguably the best in the game, maybe the monkeys compare at pitching, but his bat is just incredible. That curved trajectory is very good at driving at doubles and getting RBIs, and we just saw right there, the ball started rolling foul, and he couldn't really get to it.
Here's the thing.
Great patience here, by the way, at bat. Not swing at the ball.
That was a great strikeout. Actually, pretty big. But
that was very good pitching.
He's not out of the clear yet because
Starsman right here too can easily bring and run. 5 stars too.
I do not agree with charge pitching here. I think it's very predictable, and I think when you're up against a star swinger like this, you really
and that's gonna drive in. Is Boo going home? Boo's going for it.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't have
and Yoshi not gonna get there. If that was a laser infielder, that might have been an out.
Punishment for not taking Pianta and going with Driver instead. If he had
Pianta in there, would have thrown that out.
Always, always, always try to get Pianta or DK on your team.
Right. Laser in the infield is incredibly important.
The difference between having them and not having them is substantial.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna barely get past Yoshi. Yeah, that was a good hit.
Another base. Oh, but we have Luigi up.
Luigi's
if Luigi gets on base, that next at-bat's terrifying. But Luigi is not a very good hitter.
I mean, here's the real question. Luigi star swing or what?
Well, no. You could strike out like that.
I guess you could also do that. No, I wouldn't do the Luigi star swing. It's bad. Don't do it. For everyone at home. Oh, man. So Joey...
Yeah, it's like the ground ball star swing, but a little bit better. Because sometimes you get to burn them. But it comes at the cost of, like... Oh, God. I'm trying to remember how it works. You have to pay, like, 2 stars for it. And it's 2
stars if it's not a captain. Once the ball hits the ground, too, you can pick it up, if I remember correctly.
I think so. I'm not entirely
It's either
sure.
that or
is
2
a
bounces.
Great Magic Koopa slap.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Actually, that could have doubled, but it would have been risky. I guess I respect staying at first.
So only 1 out. Toadsworth up, Magic Koopa on first. Walrus gonna have to get this going right here.
Yeah, but I mean, after Toadsworth's Mario, and I think at this point.
Ooh. Hong-Zhi, I believe you cut out there. I'll just continue then.
Rip. I said Fireball is probably what you want to go for, especially with a charge pitch. But
that was a great hit.
It works too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, had Toadsworth gotten on base and there's only 1 out, the Fireball was definitely a solid option here.
I think
that was a strike.
Drive, score a run. I think Righty Dix is not going to do very much.
Yeah, Righty Dix.
Nice
I don't think it's like the optimal play. I think it's just a comfort pick. And
on the curveball.
Yeah, that was a very, very confident pitch there to a star swinger with man on first and second, just pitching inside.
But hey, it worked, right?
Yeah, it did. I mean, that's all pitching is. Like, you look at that on paper, right, and you say, oh, pitching inside to a star swinger with guys on first and second, that's a bad idea. But that's where pitching mind games come into play, where sometimes that is a good idea if you just get into your opponent's head and you think you can fake them out there.
See, like that, like
exactly. Like that would have been a free,
like a terrible pitch.
Right. On paper that was a bad pitch, but pitcher, that's all the mind games there.
Wow.
And 2 star chances that inning.
Not very many characters make that.
Yeah. 2 star chances too.
So here's our automatic out.
Oh wow!
Never mind.
And it's gonna get past.
Let's go, Big Dix energy.
Nice. Dix is gonna get on. Yeah, there's that push hit. Again, though, it would be a little bit better if that went to left field. Obviously, it didn't matter here.
And another
so it all works out in the end, I guess.
Do you know who gets that hit though?
I have no idea. Why don't you enlighten me?
Ooh, obviously, wait, are we pitching for Blue Pianta.
Yeah, of course. Blue Blob gets that. And pushing with Bowser, that's not going to be a home run because he's a full hitter.
And actually, it's not going to tag up anyone.
Yeah, which is a little bit unfortunate. So here's, this is the hard lineup. Like, Walrus needs this to get back into the game.
Yeah, if Walrus doesn't hit a home run with one of these next two, he might not be able to come back.
Right. He's only going to...
He does have one more spat.
Oh, a perfect hit, but it's going to go foul. That's what he needed right there.
He does have one more spat at this part of the lineup later on, but there's no guarantee he's going to have Dixie and Yoshi
on base, exactly. So we're going to go for it. It's going to curve foul, unfortunately.
Yeah. One big issue with
frustrating batter to use.
Sometimes you get nice contact hits, and they just go foul.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, man. And will we be able to drive him in? It's going to go foul again, swinging at a very outside pitch there. Wow, great pitch there.
And just like that,
barely getting out of that
inning part of the lineup, it's just gone.
Yeah, and you can see, you know, sometimes like hitting well and batting well, that's not all it's about. Walrus has more hits than Joey right now. It's 7 hits to Joey's 6, and yet Joey has 3 runs to 0.
Hell,
it's not just about getting on base; it's also about being able to capitalize and drive.
Walrus has a better. I'd say Walrus even has a better batting core, and it's just he's just not pitching when he needs to, and he's allowing like those 1 or 2 crucial hits to let go.
Right.
Whereas Joey, he might have a runner on first or second, but that's not going to translate to runs because he can really fool him.
Wow, great pitch there too.
Yeah, Dixie has among the most movement in the game. On her forehand pitches, she is unmatched. No one can actually curve the ball more than her.
Yeah. Yeah, with that release angle and everything.
On to Madge. With 5 stars, I mean, no reason not to star swing here.
Right, exactly. This is a star-hungry part of the lineup. You got Madge, Toadsworth, and, is Birdo after? I don't remember.
No, Birdo's on
the other team. That could be a double. Oh, Birdo is on the other team. What am I talking about? Oh, yeah, it was PATRON into Birdo. That's what it was. Gonna burn a star there.
I agree with the Toadsworth star swing, but obviously not a there.
Yeah, I think you don't do it anymore.
I don't know.
Oh, this is
I
tough.
might.
Yeah, this is definitely a tough choice here. It's gonna be 2 strikes. Doesn't look like he wants to go for another star swing here. Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna look at that.
Back up in the batter's box. I think he's just not having enough reaction time when he's standing up like this.
Yeah.
Usually standing up close like this is better because you give the pitcher less time to curve their shots. But on net play, sometimes
is Mario gonna get there? No. Chemistry. Actually, I don't think chemistry mattered there, but...
The chem didn't matter. Bird has a pretty good arm.
Yeah, Bird does have a strong arm. I confuse Bird's arm with Yoshi a lot.
I think he needs this bones hit. I
100%.
think he needs to start point pressing. And
another just, Joey's really just getting him on those inside pitches, getting them looking. Oh my god. Just great, this pitching is just really good, and there it is.
I wouldn't have swung there. My baseball brain's telling me he's gonna throw a ball.
Yeah. It's so tough. I mean, there have been so many situations where I'm sure Walrus has been telling himself, oh, this one's gonna be a ball, and then it just goes right down the middle, and he looks at it.
Yeah.
I
can understand.
Great mind games here.
A little greedy after that.
And another situation where just, 1 out with runners on, and then Joey just doesn't allow any of those runners to score. Props to him. He's just playing this very solidly. Here's Paratroopa into Birdo again. This might be able to net more runs.
This is probably a pretty good situation for that, because he has Pianta on.
Yes, exactly. Paratroopa gets on base, maybe drives Pianta the 3rd, and then a Birdo weird ball can definitely drive in a run.
It is very risky.
Oh, and that's not going to do it.
Do it. Now you have to shoot.
Like, which star swing do you want to use? Yeah.
I think you... Do you weird ball here? Yeah, I think I agree with that option.
Yeah, it is tough. You only have 1.
Like, going for weird ball there is just... You're not even guaranteed to drive in Pink Menace, and your next at bat's Pete.
Right. And it is your last star as well, too. It's not like it's star-rich. So... Ooh, gonna get a little jammed on that one.
Inside there, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit jammed there.
Into Yosh.
So this is the really strong part of the lineup. I don't think we're going to see this part of the lineup again. Maybe in the bottom of the 9th if enough runners get on base, but
if
he's got to perform here. Oh, a little fielder switch. Yoshi's going to get
playing
on.
A little better. and Walrus actually manages to score those 3 runs to make up the deficit, we will see this part of the lineup again.
Yes, exactly. Bowser here, pitching to Bowser again.
Bowser's been useless this game. Like,
yeah, Bowser's not been performing.
Anything. Yeah,
Bowser's not going to go out. Not going to tag up either. I can't really tag up here. Again, Hammerbro. Hammerbro's got to, you need these 2 runs. Oh my god, and Birdo just showing why Birdo's good.
Yeah, Birdo, one of the best second basemen in the game, and just completely shut down that hit. And just like that, we had another situation. Runners on, really good runners on too. That was
1 out only too as well. And then Bowser Hammerbro, and again, just nothing.
Bowser Hammerbro just don't do anything.
And it's just tough here. I want to go back to that Birdo thing. I think Birdo and only Birdo and Yoshi get that. Had that landed, Yoshi was getting to third base with King Boo on, and then a King Boo slap hit easily drives in a run, or again a home run. So that Birdo play is really saved a bunch of runs there. Striking out DK there, very good.
Yeah,
it's tough. I mean, Walrus has really got to get runners on next inning, even if he doesn't score them, just so we can get the strong part of the lineup up again in the bottom of the 9th. Because if this is a 1-2-3 inning, it's not looking good.
Yeah, because then he has to move on to his righty Dixie Kong at bats.
I think it's worth considering slap hitting with King Boo here just for the star. I mean, obviously you do want the home run, try to get the game going together.
I don't think his slap hit's safe enough is the problem. I think... Well,
it's very similar to Boo's. It might be a little bit more risky because it's too much power, but it is very similar to Boo's. Ooh, let's see.
I don't know. I think if you got jammed on the slap hit, it wouldn't have really resulted in anything different.
That's true. Gonna burn a star there. Yeah, this is just a very tough situation. I think you do have to...
Bobbles don't matter. I stand by that.
Okay, let's see if Toadford can do it. Again, you need to, even if you're not going to score these runners, you need to get them on base so you can get to that strong part of the lineup
It is looking like.
And Burrow's going to get that. Dang, so this needs to be an incredibly strong inning right here for if Walrus wants to take this. I mean, Joey's just playing incredibly solidly. I'm sure Joey's looking for some assurance runs right here. Or insurance runs. I guess both words work. Joey might as well just, use those stars. Bowser's gonna get that. Great dive.
Yes, that was pretty sick.
Not that Bowser's got a great dive to say.
Beyond the Star Swing, let's go. Fun fact, Beyond the Star Swing, for those of you who don't know, can hit a home run.
I did not know that. Is it interesting? Strikeout, and it all comes down to this. So who do we have going into this? We got Mario Drive-Home. Not the part line.
One of those at-bats is not very good. And then after that is Yoshi, who I also don't think is very good.
Then you need to get all 3 of these runners on because you need that Bowser part up. It's very tough. Okay, Mario's gonna get on.
There's your first on base.
There's just a step one right there.
A pretty solid and convincing one. On to Bones, who has not done anything this game, by the way.
Yeah, Bones has been a little bit struggling. Burn that star. We only got one more shot.
This is a double play. Definitely star playing there. That was very unwise of.
And by the way, I need to point out, if Bones was righty there, he would not have made first base. Oh no! Okay, Yoshi must get on base here. Oh, obviously it's 2 outs.
No way.
Of course he must be on base.
I mean, just from watching this game, I think Walrus has a problem when he's under pressure because when he really has to, he really just can't perform. That's the game right there.
Great performance there by Joey. Walrus is one of the strongest players in our league. So definitely a good job there.
I mean, I think this game proves, power hitting and getting those big star swings off oftentimes is better than just what's on paper a better lineup.
Yeah.
Because, sure, what's his face? Walrus had more power characters, but none of them performed. And the reason why Joey won is that he got a PD Piranha Dinger and Birdo's Star Swing drove in 2 runners.
Yeah.
And
that's all you need sometimes. And they just played incredibly solid defense. Again, 1 or 2 people on base, 1 out. It didn't matter. He didn't let any of them score anyway. He just got that little lead and then held it out defensively.
But in all seriousness, congratulations to Joey.
Yes, that was incredibly
elite play level of the club, and you're moving on to winners quarters.
Winner
right?
semis. Winner semis. That was quarters. Yeah, winner semis there for Joey. Yeah, and that was an upset, by the way, for the viewers who didn't know. Joey came in as the 7 seed here, and Walrus is the 2 seed, so that was an upset. Big upset. I forgot to mention this, but on Challenge, you can vote for who you think is going to win the matches. So on the current stream, on the current bracket, you can vote for who you think will win. So go do that if you want to. Thanners had just finished the game, by the way, against Sticky Keys. Thanners beat Sticky Keys 14-1. Thanners just, showing why he's the 1 seed. Showing why he's the current champ in Netplay. But it looks like Joey might have something to say about that. I mean, if Joey plays like he did against Walrus, he has a shot to win this whole thing.